Hello, good people. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. A pre-recorded walking and talking. I can hardly breathe, can hardly talk. Better not say that. Oh, welcome in, folks. Welcome in. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here. I do appreciate it. I do appreciate it. This may be an abbreviated walking and talking. Just depends. Just depends. Hopefully your day is going well, folks. Hopefully your day is going well. And if you're able to join me, get up and join me in some type of movement, Always good for the mind, good for the body, your overall health, all of that jazz, folks. You all know it because the folks that I talk to mainly on here are grown and sexy. We're all adults here. But yeah, if you're able to join me during these walking and talking, doing some type of physical activity, that is great, even if it's walking outside. Standing up and, marching in place. Just walking in place, doing side steps, whatever it is that you're able to do. Arm rotations, forward and backwards, whatever you're able to do. That would be great. That would be great. Hump day, folks, hump day, hump day. Y'all remember that commercial? I think it was Geico, I'm not quite sure. But the camel, classic. But yeah. Walking and talking with Wanda. Midday chat, folks. What is going on out here in this world? When I click on the news, of course, the stuff that's happening overseas, the wars and all that stuff is the main thing that they're showing, that they're updating, of course. And yeah, everyone is at war, it seems. Then folks, maybe you, me, the next person, we may be having our own personal war of some type. Of course, we don't terminate war, but you all get the point. We're out here, we may be facing struggles, or someone in our life, or our lives may be facing struggle. So they're having their little personal war. I'm going to use that term and loosely here. They may be having their own personal war that's going on, whatever it may be. Like if you're caring for a loved one, your husband, your wife, your child that has some type of chronic or ongoing type issue going on. And there may be a financial component attached to that, so you're having a financial issue also along with that. You may be having a family relationship issue with your siblings or a cousin, or just maybe with your spouse. You guys aren't seeing eye to eye on things. One wants to go one way, you want to go another way. You can't meet in the middle. You just can't agree. So there are other things that are happening out here with folks in their lives beyond what it is that we are seeing in the news. And I don't want us to get distracted from what it is that we're seeing out here, because when we go to work and when we're out and about throughout the day, people may bring up these topics to us, and then we may want to engage with them. And so we want to try to keep up with, the latest or some of what is going on so that we can have a conversation. Just make sure that that does not become the main thing or the main focus of what it is that you're doing, want to do, try to do. Because some of these things, I'm not saying everything, some of these things are serving as a distraction to get us off of our game, maybe to get us from seeing things for what it is. But yeah, if you're having your own things going on within you, in your home, in your family, etc., take care of that stuff first. Because what it's going to do is going to relieve the stress that you're having from it. And so once the stress is gone, you can think clearly and move on to the next thing after you get this thing solved. It's a part of the mental health, folks. It is a part of the mental health. We got to keep that going. We have to be good and mentally, physically, emotionally, all this good stuff for ourselves. First and foremost, as I mentioned here a whole lot, you all know that I do. I mention that here a whole lot before we can be of service or help to someone else, before we can take care of anyone else. So yeah, lots going on, lots going on. And as you know, one of my walking and talkings is keep the main thing the main thing. And the main thing is you. And daily do something just for you. Hopefully that something is just for you. No one else can get any benefit from. And yeah, I get it. You know, if you're exercising, you know, if you're budgeting your money properly, if you set up a 529 plan for your kids and your kids getting some benefit from that. Of course, if you're exercising, you're getting the benefits from all of that, whatever that may be for you. The squeaky floor. All that good stuff. And then of course your husband and your children benefit from that too. You're more calm. You're not having at them when they make, you know, mistakes or something like that. You're just in a good, peaceful, calm demeanor, calm manner going on, and that is always helpful when the day is done and you come back home from your job that may have caused stress, or someone at the job that may have caused you some stress or a little pressure. Oh, the knee is popping, the knee is popping. In a good way, folks, in a good way. So yeah, doing something for yourself is going to be key, critical, helpful. What else is going on? What else is going on? Woo! Yeah, it is that time. We just had Thanksgiving. Hopefully it all went well for you all out there. That feels good. What about Black Friday? What about Black Friday? This is a budgeting channel, folks. A little bit about the loot, a little bit about the money. How did you all do? How did you fare? Did you do a little bit too much on Black Friday? As you all know, you can always get up and get back on the wagon and get back on the wagon. English is not my first language. If you possibly may have did a little bit too much on Black Friday, and hopefully that didn't repeat on Cyber Monday, because today is Wednesday. If you didn't do too much on Black Friday and you calm yourself down for Cyber Monday, great, hoorah, hurrah. But if you maybe overindulge, overspend, etc., just get back up and get back on the train. Take a look at, you know, how much you overspend, and if you got to do something extra to make up that difference, then do that. If that is how you work, if that is how you roll, etc. And maybe, you know, if you want to keep the budget together, you might have to cut back on something for a month or two to make up the difference, whatever it was, if you want to do it that way. If you want to do it that way, to keep things good, above board, etc., so that you don't have to, you know, actually do go out and get another gig. You can just cut back on something for a month or two, or however long you need to make up for the overspending that you did. And then you can be back on track with your budget without having to get a side hustle, side gig, etc. And of course, that depends on how much you overspent by. That's all that I am saying with regards to that. But yeah, this is the season, folks. This is the season. Spend, spend, spend. We have to make sure that we're not falling into traps. We're all grown here, like I mentioned before. And we all have folks that we're going to buy gifts for, possibly, maybe not. But for the folks that are, let's just keep it on one thing longer. For the folks that are buying gifts, and that is something that you normally do, great. Don't stop. Continue to do that if that is what you do. As always, just try to plan your purchases. Of course, that would start with setting up a budget for the amount of money that you are going to spend on all the gifts that you are going to give. You have a list already, and most of the time it's the same people. Sometimes people are removed, some added. Sometimes you keep the same list and folks are just added. So you have to plan for that. So if you have 10 people that you give gifts to all the time, and then this year you say, okay, I'm going to get 2 additional gifts as a just in case. And they could be gender neutral, I guess, unisex. It could be for a girl or a boy, etc. You're just going to buy two gifts, and if it happens to be for a girl or for a guy, or two girls, two guys, etc., then the gift that you buy will work, etc. Then you have to add that. Now I got 12 people. You have to add that amount to it, and then do what it is that you do, however it is that you save for these purchases. Then do it that way. Of course, I believe in cash stuffing. The other things I believe in too. For purposes of this drill, I believe in cash stuffing. And of course, you can do it digitally also, which I will be doing. And I have been doing that all along, some of it all along, but a little bit more of the digital, transfers this year. But I will still be doing cash stuffings for sure. Of course, my personal envelopes. And I am participating in a 2K challenge. And then there will be other little challenges along the way, and or sinking funds along the way. So yeah, however it is that you do it. But yeah, definitely budget for them, put them in your budget. With the job or jobs that you have currently, do that and see how that looks. See how that looks. You're just going to use the money from your job. Of course, we're always going to make sure that we are paying rent, mortgage, all the insurances revolved around that. Car payments, if that is the case, car insurance, of course, utilities, and food. Want to make sure that those things are taken care of. Whatever you have left is what you need to work with for all the other things in your life, because those are discretionary. Those are possibly things that you may not actually need, may just be things that you want. Not here to debate that with anyone, because people are going to do what it is that they're going to do. I'm going to do what it is that I'm going to do. What works for me may not work for you. What you like may not be what the next person likes, all that good stuff. So the things after the main thing is the money. The money that you have left is what you have for the other things in your life, because the big ticket things are taken care of. And you just have to see. You just go down the list of all the things that you have. If you got subscriptions to here, there, and everywhere, and they are important to you, to your family, and it may be something specific to, maybe something for the kids, some type of learning thing, all of that stuff, put that there. Whatever else you got going on, if you do the mani-pedi every 2 weeks, every month, put that in there also into. If your husband, got the football package, etc., that goes over there, because I know that can be a little bit more than like the Netflix and the other type of things that are going on over there. XM car stuff. There's a whole host of things that I don't even know, folks, that are out here that people may have for incidentals that they like to do, etc. Clothes shopping. They got to have their Starbucks once, twice, or 3 times a month, etc. All of that stuff is what you're going to use the remainder of your money after the main things are done. You're going to put that there. And of course, if you're buying gifts, then you're going to, put that amount there that you're going to put off to the side in an envelope or transfer off to the side. But the thing is to plan for the purchases. Plan. This is life, folks. Life is about planning. And yeah, I'm a work in progress, also into on a whole host of stuff. So when I am here speaking to you all, I am hearing myself and talking to myself. I'm married. That's easy also into. So I don't want anyone to get it twisted. Just here to try to be positive, help some folks. Maybe some of these little tips and things that I say may strike with you, might like, okay, that's interesting. That is something that I can do. Let me do some more research on it. Come back to my channel and go through my videos and see that, or maybe go to someone else's budgeting channel or finance channel, or out here on the internet and get information. But it's about planning. You want to be prepared. You always want to be prepared. And this is what I am trying to do with myself, with my money, and a whole host of other things here in this life. Plan, prepare, so I don't have to get prepared. And trust and believe it is a lot. If you sit down and wrote out all the things that, if you're just starting from ground zero, that you would need to do to have the money involved, etc., you will go crazy. So we don't want you to do that. Slow and steady wins the race. the most important things first, and you all know what that is for your individual life. You all know what that is. There's a lot of stuff going on out here, and you don't want to get distracted. You don't want to get distracted. That does not mean not watching the news or anything like that. Don't want to get distracted by friends and family. I am not saying, and I don't want someone to get things twisted. I'm not saying don't associate with friends or family while you are on your budgeting journey, your financial journey, etc. No one is saying that. No one is saying that. Do say, be careful what it is that you share with others, whether they're friends, family, people at the job, etc., or just someone out there in public. Be careful what it is that you share. Because we know that some folks don't have your best intentions at heart, and some people will just, throw cold water on your thoughts, your ideas, your dreams, your goals, your desires. They will do that, and you're thinking you're just, telling these folks something and wanting maybe possibly to get some type of feedback from them. Or yeah, do that. That's great, girl. All this other stuff that may be all that you want from the person. But just know that sometimes people aren't on board with everything it is that you want to do, and they may, like I said, throw cold water on it. So sometimes it is good to move in silence. You have heard me mention that before, and you all know it for yourself also too, because we're grown and sexy. What is happening in this great big wide world, folks? What is happening? I pulled down this one story. Thought it was interesting. There's a few things I want to repeat from it. Oh. Good. It's a story that I saw. It doesn't say who it's from, or it didn't print out on here. But it's dated today, the 29th, at 12:01 a.m. Eastern Standard by Caitlin Sullivan. Life expectancy in the U.S. ticked upward in 2022, following 2 years of significant declines, primarily driven by the COVID pandemic, according to the Centers for Disease Control, CDC. Center for Disease Control and Prevention report published on Wednesday. And it goes on to say that in 2022, the life expectancy age rose up to 77.5 years for 2022, and that was a 1.1 year increase from 2021. And most of the article mentioned that it was due to COVID deaths declining, etc., saying it was heavy COVID. So once again, we have to say, what is it that they're really trying to say to me? I'm saying while I read it, what is it they're really trying to say to us to keep going back and back? And I get it. Some of this is information, trust but verify, etc. So I'm thinking, besides the COVID deaths, what are some of the other reasons for these deaths, etc.? Just outside of what they're saying on this report. This is just me talking now. We have to look at the food for a long, long period of time. The food that we have consumed, are still consuming, etc. The pesticides, the hormones that they're injecting into the animals, etc., to fatten them up quicker, faster, to get them to slaughter, to bring us, the various meat products, etc. All that good stuff. We have to be mindful of that. That food is a very important thing, which is why I need to start planting my own food, my own garden, etc. out here, and continue to eat differently and decrease some things in my own diet, etc. And of course, food is an issue. You hear these cities within states that they have food deserts. They do not have a supermarket. And that has gotten some attention, and hopefully there have been some companies to go into these, some grocers to go into these places to help the folks out. And hopefully, the food costs are extreme now, so one step forward, 2 steps back type of thing, etc. But their food deserts do exist, where in some cities they do not have access to fruits and vegetables, etc., and or meats. They do not have a grocery store within, a good enough range to where they can drive and pick up something, rather quickly, etc. Just a food desert, And I think it's mostly convenience stores. At that time back then, they did not have, like the Dollar Tree has now, like the food portion in Dollar Tree, etc. So yeah, those folks had been hurting for a long time. Hopefully some of that has been alleviated. But back again, the food, the food, the food. We have to be mindful about the food. The food is killing us. The food is killing us, folks. And we just have to be careful and know everyone cannot afford organic food. And once again, they're growing the organic food in the soil that has been here forever. So you're probably still getting some of the stuff. But they're not actually shooting, pesticides, etc., all onto your food. So that's a plus. But yeah. Life expectancy, food. And it takes money to live and to die, folks. It takes money to live and to die. I circled something else here also that was important to me. The CDC researcher said the increase in life expectancy would have been greater had there not been a rise in deaths from pneumonia and the flu, malnutrition, kidney disease, birth defects, and perinatal deaths. Malnutrition. Back on the food. The other day I was watching one of those, it was on YouTube, but one of those TikTok rants. And I think the young lady was either Canada or Australia, where they have free healthcare. And they said, wherever it was, they said there have been a lot of folks coming in due to malnutrition. So people don't have enough food, aren't getting enough food on a daily basis, etc. Daily and or consistent basis. Not good, folks, not good. And probably these food prices are there are hungry people out here every day, and we know that they are suffering with malnutrition, except the CDC and these other places aren't capturing that data. There's probably local places that is capturing that data. Whether they are sharing that with others, I don't know. But the issue is there is malnutrition out here. And with these food prices continue to happen, the regular families, people that they themselves, they have children, you will probably start hearing and seeing that also too about malnutrition. And if the kids that are going to school are getting their first meal at school and their second meal, breakfast and lunch at school, what do you think is happening when dinner time rolls around? It's really bad out here, folks, and it's been bad for a long time, way before now. Is it possible, and I'm going a lot of different directions, is it possible that we got distracted because we was worried about what words to use? That's just one thing that comes to my brain. We getting distracted because we were off onto what the politicians were saying they were going to do for people in general and for black people in general. Did they start talking about the Voting Rights Act? And we got on that, like I mentioned before in another video, because, they're going to take our voting rights away, and now that's top of brain, top of mind. And throughout all of that, here we are with high food prices. I'm going to stay with that because we're talking about malnutrition. Here we are with that. Here we are with the high food prices and the malnutrition. And it goes on underneath the heading malnutrition rising across the country. The CDC report also highlighted what experts say is an alarming increase in deaths from malnutrition in 2022. The researchers estimated these deaths are behind 13% of the downward pull on overall life expectancy. So the malnutrition is, from what this report is saying, 13% of what was the downward trend in the life expectancy. Crazy. A study published earlier this month in the journal BMJ Medicine found deaths from malnutrition in the U.S. increased nearly 2.5-fold between 1999 and 2020. 2.5, and that is from whatever information they have gotten over time, etc. So here we are, folks, here we are. But like I said, I think that you're going to be hearing about it, or possibly not, because it may be a distraction tactic about malnutrition, or you may be seeing it, etc. You may have some of your friends the school age children come over to your house, and you see that every time they come over there, just like if you're offering them food or just putting food out for them, etc., they are just woo woo woo, woofing it down, etc., and you're finding yourself having to, fix more food, etc. Yeah, it's getting bad out here, folks. It has gotten bad. Like I said, it's been going on for a period of time, and maybe they were capturing about it and people weren't paying attention to it. Or people was like, okay, the food prices are okay. I am not hurting, but others out there are. So yeah, I found that story to be interesting. What else did I highlight? Oh, I think that was all that I highlighted. Yeah. So malnutrition, folks. Just gotta make sure that we are doing our level best in everything that we can to keep ourselves together mentally, goodness knows, physically, emotionally, financially, etc. It all works hand in hand, in my opinion. It all works hand in hand, in my opinion, because you're going to have to utilize money to buy goods and services. You're going to have to utilize money. So capitalism is not going anywhere. Our being a capitalistic society is not going anywhere. And I don't want to debate that with anyone here in of itself. It is what it is. So yeah, there's always work to be done. We got to keep pushing forward, trying to stay as positive as you possibly can. And when you have those moments when you can't, and trust and believe they will happen. However they happen, do some breathing, talk to someone. If you have a spouse, talk to your spouse. Hopefully you guys are communicating, and the communication is good between the two of you, because if you can't talk to someone on the outside and you can't talk to your spouse, that's problematic. But yeah, definitely try to release that bad energy, that stressful energy from yourself. Talk to someone, and you probably already know what it is that you need to do without having to talk to someone. But yeah, make sure that you get it out in some particular way that is positive for you on the other side. And of course, it will probably require some type of work, some type of action from you. So make sure that you do it so that you can move on to the next thing, because trust, you probably have a list of things that you need to accomplish, get done, or something unexpected will come into your life and happen to add to your plate. So yeah. Hopefully your lunch period, if you're watching this during your lunch or at some other time, hopefully some of the information here has been helpful. While I walk and talk and try to get this thing together. Slow and steady. Pick up the pace, wanted to pick up the pace. But yeah, life is lifing all the time. Life is lifing all the time. Yeah. Do your best, folks. Do your best. And I know that you will. I know that you will. I know that you will. Whew. Almost Christmas. I know a lot of you don't want to think about it, but almost Christmas. Another thing, and I mentioned this before, let's keep in mind that there are a lot of folks out here that are in need. They are in need all the time. So if you're able to, donate something, whether it be money or your time, to help someone that is in need, that is a good thing. That is a good thing. And also be mindful that people that are lonely, they may be having some anxiety or depression, or this time of year brings that on for whatever reason. Maybe they lost someone around this time, a mom, a dad, a sibling, or someone that they loved, care about, may have passed away during this time of year, etc. And then people will start to have a little depression, etc., due to that, etc. Just be mindful of the signs that are out here for whatever it is that people are going through. If you see people acting a little bit differently, etc., make sure you have a kind word. Ask, hey, you want to talk about anything, etc. Just be kind and know that everyone is not up all the time with their mood, their vibe, their energy. So yeah, be mindful of that as you go about your day, each and every day, and definitely throughout this holiday season. I do appreciate your time, folks. Take care and have a great day. Bye-bye.